time is 4:30 a.m. Ready for Kigali. So going to the basement, that's where the car is. And I'm having my picnic box and my bag. And of course, someday everything will make some perfect sense. I have my coffee over here because I don't know how it will be. Barely have also. Let's go to Kigali. Hope the road is good. It's still very early. Lighting, like you saw from the other video, which most of these clips I will do voiceovers, Kampala is poorly lit, so I have like an hour or something. Yeah, poor situation, but it's 9 hours drive. Let's go. Bye. But we'll be coming back to this place again for another night. The day is here, and definitely a much anticipated drive to Lake Kivu. There were two routes, one through Kigali, but since we had a day plan for Kigali, the plan was to get to Kivu, because again that road was suggested because of its nature trail, quotes, kind of a thing. Nature trail yenye unapita na gari, like a drive. Anyway, check on fuel the car, because it's very important, especially if you are in a different country and you're not even sure about where petrol stations are located, like the stretch and you have kwenda before you get to fuel again. So here we are near the Bible house, some petrol station there, fueling, and we hit the road. And definitely you can see at this point it's also a little bit dark, because as I told you, it's 4 a.m, but at this point it was around 20 past, after fueling and all those manner of shenanigans going on. So being early morning, several trucks on the road, but this is on Barara Road, and some of the trucks are definitely going to the farm to pick on bananas and the rest. Borders are not as many. Definitely coffee was in the building, in the car, definitely, because Kochi Towers packed us breakfast, a lot of stuff to buy, sausages, all those manner of things, coffee of course, and the road was clear, especially this part where it's now clearing. And my nephew was quick to check and alert me on the possible sunrise, and I was like, wait, I am actually not a sunrise kind of a person. I always like get the sunsets, maybe because either I'm up early and somewhere in somewhere working, or asleep, because one of the favorite things that I like doing is sleeping. Is there an offense? And there it was. We tried to capture it from my end, and then he did his part from the side of the car, and that was just wow. So here we are. Some part of the section of Barara Road is under maintenance, so it is slowed us to some extent. There is definitely so much fun driving kwa hii barabara because of the banana plantations, that is the part of the road that is messed up. And by the way, we got stopped by the police, Uganda police, and they didn't have anything to ask for because there's COMESA is there, everything is there, logbook is there, every document that they need, and they wasted our time, by the way. But anyway, most of the waste of time that we had on our route was because of the repair of the road that is going on. Other than that, it is a beautiful like site to drive, because like I said, a lot of banana plantations, beautiful homes, especially on the Barara road, beautiful homes that are tucked in those banana plantation and stuff. This is the part that the police waste our time, a lot of it, but again, I should have given them the quote commonly in Kenya, yeah, you should know people. Okay, don't take that serious. All what I meant was, I think sometimes the police just want to test your confidence and to see how much they can waste your time, but don't pull that in Kenya, because I think with the experience now from Tanzanian police who are very friendly, Ugandan police who start telling you a lot of stories you didn't ask them, and they assume that you are just touring to find them so that you can be best buddies forever. Anyway, we are in Barara right now, and that is a very beautiful part of the world. The cows, they have some very nice cows that I need to cow. I don't know whether they are bulls or well, cattle. I need to get some photos from the internet and show you. I understand they are called, I don't know, the Ankole cows or whatever. Anyway, back to the story. And now the Rwandese police, who I think are somewhat professional. Like, don't get me wrong, there's something about them that I like and the way they do things. Anyway, they wasted our time. That was the thing. I will be digressing all through, and I keep on telling you that I am not your best person of kufanya voiceovers now. See, we are all getting stuck in a voiceover that is all over the place, but that's the fun of it. That's being the fun of it. Here we go. And I promised that I should get some of those pictures of cows. Anyway, the drive was beautiful. After the part that is being repaired, it's over. Then you have this road that is yeah, like you are just rolling it, but there are people just come from wherever and decide to cause trouble, especially the lorry guys. That was an issue. Look at that one. But apart from the major towns and all that, speed is you can play with it. Risk, and yeah, risk going to exile. In Uganda, you know, you don't play around. But overall, I liked Mbarara so much. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place, somewhat hilly, and yeah, nice. So we got there, and we called a family friend that works and lives there, who is Ugandan, because he was to accompany us for breakfast as they catch up with part of the crew about money, you know, money. So we had to navigate and look for wherever the person was. Now, drama, because the person didn't know how to send the location. And so first of all, call that person and explain to them how you go to WhatsApp and send a location, not a live location, but the current location of where you are. Those are some of the things in this era you should know, regardless of whether you're my age mate at 120 years or not, because it can help you just know how to send and how to do those basic things. So here we are at the Cafe Havana. It's opposite the judiciary. There's some carrot that sleeps definitely I don't know those places. So I just remember him saying, I remember seeing judiciary and all that. So it's that part of Mbarara, and definitely what you get is katogo and more matoke and more styles of viazi. Well, not viazi, I lied, mandizi. People ordered. Yours truly has issues with bananas. The only bananas I feel like they fancy ni plantain and ripe bananas, but we were done. Camera and my comfort essentials, there we go. As people were saying bye to their family, friend, and it was time to hit the road again. Cafe Havana, there we go. I probably had left the H when I first pronounced it, but you get the gist. First of all, that happens. Second, especially when you don't know English. And third, when you don't have to prove that you know it. Anyway, I'm kind of like loving this voiceover thing. Anyway, we got on the road again, Mbarara and the beauty. And I think this is like a well-off part of Uganda. Can you tell me if that is true? If it is like the part ya watu wako na, you know, money and stuff like that, because the houses, wait, I need to rephrase that. The homes, the plantations, everything looks so fancy and, you know, Karenish and, you know, fanciness. And yeah, you could spot some buildings that are not that fancy, but most of the places were tucked in some nice homes, which is lovely. So there we go, enjoying the drive, some mini stopovers. Yeah, refill on coffee whenever that you can. Oh, and one thing, if you're going for a road trip, make sure that you are not the only driver. It will be more fun if kuna several drivers deal with the shenanigans. So the road after you cross the border to Rwanda is so ruggedy, you literally wobble. No, the car like does it, but it seems like they are repairing it. So you remember the story about borders in Kampala and Rwanda, and now the story changes to bikes, and people are literally all over the road. And everyone was quick to ask whether that's the reason why almost everybody at least, we checked and we looked and we checked again, rechecked. Those people are so fit. Is it because of cycling and a lot of walking, or is it about their local food, or what is it? Because you could see them, there are so many carrying things, carrying children, being carried na bikes and all that. Again, speed, can we talk about how the highest is 60 and you take time before we honest? So literally you are doing 50 throughout. And let me tell you that from the time we entered Rwanda to the time we stayed around Lake Kivu, bump ya kwanza tulipata in Kigali, in the city. But it's okay, that's their thing. It's your responsibility to look out for yourself, I guess. So there we go. You can't speed when you're driving at the wrong, into quotes, wrong side, because now the driver's seat is on the right and you're supposed to drive on the left. So there is a wall blind spot, which literally overtaking is a no. The only thing you can do is just follow the car in front, and remember to watch the bikes and people, because there are so many and they don't know how to ride, or they don't want to ride at the side of the road. Most of them wako kwa barabara kabisa, and they can speed like kwa hizo miteremko. And you know, it is all so like corners and hills na mteremko and all that, but super beautiful. Anyway, we had to like bear with the situation and go to get the line. You can see the speed there. And another thing is that you won't see police idling around with cars waiting for people, no, but do one mistake and you see a very fancy BMW motorbike and the Rwandese police, or are they called the Rwandan police, questioning you on a few other things. I think someone set us at some point when you were later, after we were residents in quotes going to the border to Congo. Someone must have talked to the police and they had to get us. But when they came, they were all professional, you know, asking for the license, COMESA, checking on the condition of the car, of course, from the outside, and they go. Like, they didn't waste time on us. So we got to where we were supposed to be getting the lines from. I've forgotten what this place is called. And so thankfully it was before closure of business. And now when you are a foreigner in a African country, you don't get your line with your ID number, definitely. So you will need to have your passport to get a like line here, meaning the SIM card for the new telecommunication, whatever, for that country. So that means you can't get it from the kibandas and the kiosks of the places they get that from. You need the actual passport and you go to like a customer care place. That's why we were going to these places. Otherwise, kama ingekuwa just getting it from anywhere, we would have just gotten it at like nearest at the border for some amount kwa hizo vioski ziko hapo. But now unless you get someone to buy for you, which is someone that you don't know, so better if you just go and buy it from like use the right channel. Another problem is that you realize that you have dollars and Ugandan shillings, which can sort you out in Rwanda, so you need to change money. You can definitely do that kwa border, but I told you fake money ukora ya border, so just look for a forex bureau if you have to and change your money. Better if you look for any warrior forex bureau, 100% recommend. Just avoid another person, treat them as suspects, and change your money from Kina Mohammed and Kina Hussein in their forex bureaus. Guaranteed that you're going to get genuine money. Anyway, I'm taking some tea. That's why, you know, sugar. I haven't taken sugar for some time, so yeah, the whole everything is excited, you know. So here we were. MTN had a long queue, so we went to Airtel and got a line from Airtel Rwanda. And so there was a shop there, right there, and it had some nice snacks and everything. There was nothing to eat in the car. I was getting hungry, but I didn't have any money. The people went to get the line, went exchange pesa. So here I am talking about things that I don't know what I was telling you about, but forget about that because that doesn't make any sense. Probably I'm talking about how I am dying out of hunger and such stories. But anyway, it was time to go. Yeah, and whatever I was telling you there, I can't remember. So we hit the road, and at this point we were connected, so the Wi-Fi or data ya simu, so we can locate our place. I drank some coconut water and was feeling a little bit better. So yeah, all I can remember at this point was the frustration and the lines, and the hunger and all those manner of things. So here we go to our place, and now one thing that the like I can say wasn't fun for me is missing my homemade food. I am one person who 90%, if not 95%, eats from what I cook from home, and I am the person to make like all of that. So when I have to rely on food from elsewhere, I suffer. Like it's something I don't know whether to tell you not to get used to, because it's the best thing that you can do for you. But again, be prepared for problems here and there, because you can't get whatever that you make from anywhere. Like, not possible. So definitely the thought of just arriving and taking a shower and waiting for something in a cooler was what was on my mind. But again, we had to go slow, because you can see it's not far. But now the speed you're doing 20-30 km per hour, like that's slow, super slow. But if people are going to walk along the road, like you can see, then that is the only way. Then hakuna rumbles, hakuna bumps, hakuna anything. So we go to our place, and definitely this will continue. Thank you so much for being here.